Shiba Inu has been receiving some massive news from some critical updates with the Shibarium network to some updates involving Blackrock. Make sure you guys stay till the end of this. All right, let's start by talking about Shibarium, and then we'll talk about Blackrock and how Blackrock is related to massive acquisitions of trillions of Shiba Inu. So let's dive into the Shibarium update. So first of all, we can see that Wrapped Bone and more, this update from the official Shibarium team on the official blog post website. You guys could check this out, linked on their official Twitter accounts. Make sure you're careful of scams. Okay, so let's get into what this says. First of all, congratulations, SHIB Army. We ended up reaching 1 million wallets on the Shibarium network within just a couple days, which is definitely great, although it's less than some of us expected and had hoped for. I'm going to be talking about that more in a video coming up very soon, so make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss out on that information. But we hit over 1 million wallets and over 1 million transactions, which is great, right? For a brand new network, that is great. Now, the SHIB Army, we were expecting to see more than that because our community is so strong, it is so large. We expect to see more influx of users, but this is still great nonetheless. Now, one of the big goals of Shibarium is to maintain the status as one of the fastest and cheapest layer 2 networks out there. Then we get into a sentence here that's upsetting a lot of members of the SHIB community, so we're going to read through this. We're going to highlight this sentence separately in green because it's so important. I also read somewhere that some people are unhappy with the gas prices are very low in the network, which made me chuckle. While Shia and I work tirelessly to make SHIB state a reality, I want to provide a few updates. So basically what they're saying here is they're somewhat laughing at the fact that people are upset about the transaction fee being too low. You might be wondering, why would people be upset about a transaction fee being too low? Well, the key thing is the burns. If you guys have been aware, if you guys have been following my channel, you know about the Shiba Inu burns. Ideally, what's going to be happening through the Shibarium network, and we're just going to talk about this real quick, and then we'll go back to the article. What we're looking for with the Shibarium network is this base fee number to be really high. Now, this base fee number, extremely low, a small, basically 1/1,000,000th of a bone, extremely small number here. And out of that base fee, 70% of that is supposed to get burned, which you guys can see that burnt amount right here. But look at that number. That's what, 1/1,000,000,000th of a bone being burnt every transaction. That is absolutely nothing. You'd basically need, if it's 1/1,000,000th, you need 1 billion transactions just to burn a single bone worth of SHIB, which is $1 worth of SHIB. That is absolutely nothing. So people are upset going, wait a second, this is so cheap, which yes is nice, but you're talking 1/10000000th of a penny essentially for this transaction, or 1/100th of a million for a penny of a transaction. That is absolutely nothing. A lot of people are saying, including myself, make a transaction something like 1 cent. That way you're burning a fraction of a penny every transaction. It's still extremely affordable, but if we can reach millions of transactions every single day, we could be burning hundreds of thousands of dollars of Shiba Inu every single day. That's what people want to see. And so it's really unfortunate to see the team kind of laughing this off and shrugging this off. This also happened in a Q&A earlier today where people from the team were shutting down the community's questions about burns increasing over time, trying to increase this fee number. Because again, people are willing to pay 1 cent. 1 cent per transaction is so affordable. It's like, why would you not have it at 1 cent? That's pretty much what Polygon is right now, which this is modeled after. Why not make it similar? Or if you want to be cheaper, make it half that, then fine. But don't make it 1/1,000,000th of a penny. That does nothing. It's pointless. Why even have a fee at that point? All right, let's get back to this article. I have a whole video that's going to be coming out very soon where I put together a whole spreadsheet breaking down these numbers so you guys can see what is the impact on a daily basis and on a yearly basis, and it is brutal. So anyways, let's get back to this. There's a couple updates that they want to talk about. First of all, the hosted version of Blockchain Explorer is now available on Shibarium Scan. This is great. This is what I'm showing you guys right here. It's updated. It looks pretty nice. They also have a bunch of nice stats, which we're going to circle back to in just a second. But they have a lot of nice stats, which is really nice to see. And it's also important to note that if that goes down, that doesn't mean the network is down. This is simply something that reads the blockchain. And so if that service to read the blockchain has trouble, that doesn't mean the blockchain itself is down. This is also really important because you can do your own research into different projects. They've been talking about how they're going to be soon beginning to promote projects that are built on top of Shibarium, try and bring more exposure to these projects using Shibarium. And through that, there's obviously risk associated with you investing in a project that maybe doesn't turn out as intended, either maliciously with a rug pull or just a project that fails. Those happen out here in the crypto space. And so it's important for you to make sure that you do your own research. And there's actually some great ways to do that. You can go in here to the tokens tab. You can look into all these different tokens. You get all kinds of information. It's a great tool. I'm going to have a video also coming out explaining how to utilize this whole tool as effectively as possible. but it's a great tool for you to do your own research and actually make sure you're investing in the right cryptocurrency instead of a fake scam one. It sounds like they're also having a verification system. I'm not exactly sure what this is going to entail, so I'll have to read more up into this, but it sounds like this is probably going to be something where they're going to verify a contract to make sure that there's no major red flags. For example, you have a softwares like Token Sniffer that can go ahead and see this is a honeypot because in the contract, it doesn't allow people to sell. So I'm assuming their verification system is going to help weed out some of those major red flags in different cryptocurrencies. They also include some links to the official different cryptocurrencies that should be visible and coming up. And it sounds like they're also going to be working with numerous third-party bridges to ensure they can assist in bridging many other tokens to the Shibarium network. So basically being able to get Ethereum, get Bitcoin, get Matic, get all these different cryptocurrencies into the Shibarium network and be able to utilize them on the Shibarium network, different wrapped version of those cryptocurrencies, which will be great for the future of Shibarium because you'll be able to have more use case. More people want to utilize Shibarium if they can use their existing cryptocurrencies. Instead of having to buy Bone, well, you'd have to buy Bone for the transaction fee, but having to buy Bone, having to buy these other cryptocurrencies, Leash, things like that, maybe they want to use their Matic on the Shibarium network. They'd still bring volume. They'd still be supporting burns as long as that gets changed. And so that's something that we would want to see for the Shibarium community. And they finally emphasize that Shibarium is open for everyone to develop upon. You don't have to get their permission to be building on Shibarium right now. They originally had their Shibarium intake form. So people thought if you want to build on Shibarium, you have to get the team's approval. It sounds like that's not the case. They're encouraging everyone to build on the Shibarium network, which of course means there's a higher risk of scams, but it opens it up so that we could get thousands of different utilities on the network, ideally over the course of the next couple months. All right, so what is happening that is involving Blackrock and Shiba Inu that I believe is some great news? Well, you guys can see this article right here. Robinhood actually added 14 trillion Shiba Inu, now holding 34 trillion, basically doubling their holdings of Shiba Inu. And if you guys don't know Robinhood, we guys look at the top holders of Robinhood stock, Blackrock coming in with 3% of Robinhood being held by Blackrock. They're one of the top, 8th largest shareholders basically in Robinhood. Massive shareholder. Now, it's important to note that this holdings of Shiba Inu by Robinhood is not necessarily Robinhood, the company that is owning these Shiba Inu tokens. They're a custodial platform holding tokens for their customers. So if you wanted to have Shiba Inu without having to interact with the blockchain, you could go through Robinhood, buy Shiba Inu on their platform. They'll hold the tokens for you, but you still technically own the Shiba Inu. They are just physically holding it for you, so you don't have to mess with the blockchain. Robinhood also holds massive amounts of other cryptocurrencies. For example, they have over 122,000 different Bitcoin worth nearly $3.2 billion. So this is a way, again, for more casual investors to be able to actually get holdings in these different cryptocurrencies without having to mess with the blockchain, have wallets, and all the hassle that comes along with that. And this 70% increase in the holding coincides with the public reopening of Shibarium. So the timing is making people think that maybe Robinhood is really bullish on the Shibarium network, or people using the Robinhood platform, I should say, are bullish on the Shibarium network, which is kind of interesting, right? Because if you're going through Robinhood to hold your Shiba Inu, you're not really planning on using the blockchain most likely. So you're not going to be utilizing Shibarium, but these are people who maybe aren't going to utilize it, but think that it's going to provide a ton of value to Shiba Inu over time. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Do you think that this is great news for Shiba Inu, that we're having more holders buying tons of Shiba Inu on Robinhood? People seem to be bullish about Shibarium. Do you think that we could solve some of these issues with Shibarium? Make sure you guys subscribe down below so you don't miss some of these amazing updates I have coming for you guys about the Shiba Inu burns. Again, a awesome spreadsheet I'm putting together that's going to be coming out very soon, outlining what the current burn rate is going to do over the course of a year. Spoiler, basically nothing, and what it could do if the transaction fee was just 1 cent per transaction. You guys are not going to want to miss that video. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you guys for watching this whole video. Thank you so much. Really helps me out a lot, and I'll catch you all in the next one.